And now for part 3 of my interview with the Executive Director of UNICEF, Anne Veneman. I want to get back to something we talked about before, which is the importance, particularly in these tough economic times, of giving to other nations who really need that type of support. There was a recent book by Dembi Samoyev, a former World Bank consultant, called Dead Aid, where basically she criticizes the idea of the United States giving aid abroad. And in fact, she says that foreign aid to Africa, about $1 trillion over the last 60 years, is not only a waste, but in her opinion, detrimental to Africa because it causes a dependence on that kind of aid. What is your reaction to that?
Well, I think that her book creates a debate that needs to be had. You know, what is the impact of aid? And I think when aid is properly targeted around some of the things we've been talking about today, it has been very effective. I mean, the fact that child mortality has been reduced just since 1990 by 28%, 10,000 children per day less are dying. I mean, that's because the vaccination rates have gone up. That's because the basic interventions for children, and that's been largely because of actions in countries that have been, you know, precipitated by aid. But I think aid needs to be leveraged. You know, one example is UNICEF, for example, in one country in Latin America, we used some of our money to do a study on why young people were not attending high school. As a result, the country put $40 million more into secondary education. So I think aid is about effectiveness, it's about leveraging, it's about helping countries help themselves and get on their feet. I think that book really creates the debate about the effectiveness of aid. I don't think she dismisses aid altogether. I think she talks about how to make aid more effective.
So targeted aid.
Targeted effectiveness, leveraging other resources of the countries themselves, building capacity in countries for sustainable results. I think one of the things in aid that has been done over the years is a lot of aid's been targeted at a specific project, say to provide health in a community, rather than how to build a health system in the country, how to build an education system in the country. So how do you train people? How do you build that sustainability so that the country can help itself and not necessarily be aid dependent forever?